What's up, guys? Hope you all are doing well. I am joined today by Rayno Nell, and Rayno is we're talking from South Africa, right? That's where you're at right now.
Correct. Correct.
Awesome, man. How are you doing today?
No, I'm well. Just got in this morning from Europe, so yeah, good to be back in South Africa now for once.
Yeah, man. That's you've been traveling quite a bit. You had a couple of contests the last couple weekends, right?
Yeah, so I committed to these two Strongman Champions League a while back. So after World Strongest Man, obviously a lot more invitations has come my way. But yeah, I was World Strongest Man, came back 2 weeks of absolutely being busy with media, long days, and then flew to Italy first and Netherlands last week. So yeah, three competitions in a very short space of time.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. So for anybody that does not know, Rayno won the 2025 World's Strongest Man. Kind of, I think surprised some people by winning in some ways, and I think it was very exciting, man. Your performance there, and obviously, big congratulations on that, and all the attention that comes after winning. A big contest like that is huge, right? And it's very demanding. So I know your schedule has been busy, man, for sure.
Yeah, sure. It's amazing how my just day-to-day life has changed in a matter of I can almost say 1 week. So but luckily I think it's settling down a bit now. But yeah, all the normal stuff that was on hold is creeping up now again and needs attention. But yeah, I mean it's on the flip side, if you want to win the competition, that's something you have to be prepared for.
Sure, 100%, man, 100%. So we are hopping on today, and we had announced for Strongest Man on Earth that Rayno would be competing, would be in attendance, and he's reached out to me and said, "Hey, look, I need to talk to you about what I have going on in my life and my schedule and work and this balance of everything." So I wanted to hop on and just kind of talk to you about why you are choosing to not come this year so that the fans can understand and just I want to get it from your perspective, is
Yeah.
mainly what I wanted to do with this, and to introduce people to you, right? Like to learn a little bit more about you. So, it's unfortunate. I know for myself, for a lot of the fans, I was really excited to have you in the contest and have you as part of it. And I think a lot of people were as well. So, hearing from you, I think would be great just to share that.
Yeah, I think first of all, thank you for the platform to be able to say the real reason behind it, and then also thank you for the invitation. I mean, everyone in Strongman that's currently in Strongman since Strongest Man or the Shore Classic have started. It's a dream of everyone that's competing to be there. So to get the invitation were very nice. I think it was already on the Monday after winning World Strongest Man, the Sunday that I've seen your message and the invitation. And at that point, immediately I was just excited and want to compete. But as I got back and reality strike on um, that I gonna for almost a month now not be able to focus on any of the stuff that I have going on in my life. That's work, etc., which we will get into now a bit more. I got to the realization that Strongest Man on Earth is a very demanding competition. I mean, I think building up to World's Strongest Man, which is in many aspects a lot lighter events, already a lot of things had to be on hold for me. And it's just I got to the realization that if I were to be at my best at Strongest Man on Earth this year, I would not get around to everything that I should do. The reality is, I'm a director at an engineering firm. I'm a partner. We are three partners in our own engineering firm. So with some big projects that's happening at the moment, and it's just at the moment I need to look at how I can balance everything and not um, how can I say, give up a lot of hard work over the past 7, 8 years of my career to do the competition and that maybe have some projects slip through my fingers. So
Sure.
it's a balancing act. And then also on the other part is I know that strongest man on earth is a demanding in terms of the weights that they are. So I don't want to be going to the competition not being ready for let's say a Giants Life or a Strongman Champions League. I think in some aspects world's strongest man as well. going there, the risk of an injury isn't as bad if you're not 100% prepped for a competition. And I mean, that's the reality of it. I have a lot of respect for all the competitions in strongman at the moment. And yeah, it wasn't nice for me reaching out to you because I mean, strongest man on earth is a title that I really want to win. I think at least in my once in my career. Um, and that's why I asked you if we can just have a discussion and talk to each other and see if there's a possibility to maybe extend it or how we can do because it's not a
Sure.
competition that I want to run away from. It's something that I really want to prep for in the future and go there to compete.
No, that's and I mean we had a great phone call, and you were explaining all of this, and I for one for sure understand being busy in life and with work and responsibilities, and a lot of things going on, and it's the reality of the situation is you have all of that to focus on, and you've built a career that is important. So it's not like you can just put all that on hold, especially as you shared with the projects that you have coming up. They're going to be very demanding on your time, and the reality is it's a very demanding contest with strongest man on earth. There's no way around that. I mean, it's 8 events. They're heavy. They're hard. It's 2 days. It's a very demanding test of strength overall. So I respect reaching out and saying like, hey, look, I want to be at my best. And I think with the trajectory that you're on in the sport, you have every opportunity to do exactly that, right? Like, and some of it is just when is the right time and how do you prioritize your time to be ready for all these type of things. So you're finding that balance, man. I mean, it's something where I know as I was more successful with strongman, what people tend to not realize is when you're climbing the mountain and getting to the top, you have all the time in the world really to train and to eat and to sleep and all of this, right? And then once you are successful, once you start being asked to go do things and interviews and appearances and all this stuff, you then do that. So there's certain points where you have to figure out the balance of training, because to stay at the top you have to train, right? So you have to train like you were training before, but now you have to also balance all of this with work, with life, with appearances, with different opportunities. So it's one of those things where the expectations can be very high, for sure. And when it comes to like the fans of sports, sometimes they don't realize how demanding those type of things can be. And the last thing that you want to do as an athlete is get in a spot where you're not able to put your best foot forward, right? You're coming in and like you said, it's something where you're not fully prepped and you're jumping into these events and you're not at your absolute best. And so I can understand that completely, man.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. I mean, I honestly didn't think you would take it as well as you did. But I mean, I think anyone that does strongman at this level will understand that the preparation going into a competition like this, especially I have a demanding job as well, it was already tough for me just balancing those two things. And as you explained now, I mean, coming back from World's Strongest Man, I took a sabbatical from work because it was every single day, a full day of work. And I mean, from 4 o'clock in the morning until 8, 9 in the evening, media the entire day. So I know that's going to settle down a bit. It's not going to be as much. But still, that's already a lot that has changed in my life, and now with that comes some responsibilities in sponsorships that so lucky and glad to have received. But I mean, it's just being able to get on track again after 4 or 5 weeks of not being able to focus on some other stuff that's important. So, but as I said, I mean, for me in strongman, I have a lot of goals, and this is only my third year doing strongman. So. Um, I know that in the how can I say short term, it doesn't. It's gonna be very tough for myself watching Strongest Man on Earth on a live stream from home. But I know that it's the best thing for me to do to be able to compete again next year for a title.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that this is exactly why I wanted to do this, to give you that stage to explain that. And so people can get excited. and in all fairness, man, it's introducing you to even more people, right? And I think that the fans, as much as they may be disappointed or whatever about you not coming because they were excited, your mental approach to it, I think, is going to lead to success down the road. And that's what I think is going to make people even more excited. Hopefully, is like the prospect of what you're going to be able to do and your trajectory up. And I think, you know, you're only going to improve at this point. If you can keep improving, that's a very exciting, you know, future for you, and then also for the sport of strongman, right? Like that's what we want to see. We want to see these battles, and we want to see everybody raising the bar and bringing their best and being at their best. And you know, I know for me, that's what I always wanted. I always wanted all the guys to be at their best, and then you get to truly compete against everybody at the best. You don't want to see anybody not at their best or banged up or, you know, injured or any of that type of stuff. So, you know, it's that type of mentality, and your mentality with what you have to execute on. You know, it's just that's the reality. It's the reality of what you're dealing with. So you know, it's tough, and you know, like I said, I understand it. Just like when we were talking on the phone, I understand where you're coming from, and I can also understand that it probably was tough to be like, hey, I just said yes to this, but now I'm taking a deep breath and saying like, wow, I don't know if that's the right thing at this moment. You know, so for you to reach out, it's like, all right, we have the conversation, and you know, it's you know, going through it, and me being supportive of what you're trying to do, and also your career, where you're going to be able to take it, because I think a lot of people are excited to see what you're going to be capable of, for sure.
Yeah, I think so. And I think on the other side is the reality is that one day shows is very different than a competition like Strongest Man on Earth.
Yeah,
So that's the other part now. I've already confirmed some one day shows in the near future. I think I'm at the Giants Live in 3 weeks' time. But the thing to remember is that's a completely different ball game. You can go to a Giants Live or a one day competition that you aren't exactly picked for the max weight, and it's fine. You won't put your body on into too much stress. So through the year, I'll still. I mean, I'm improving. World's Strongest Man was a. It came a lot earlier than I myself expected, and that's something that I have to deal with now. I mean,
sure.
reality is that I weren't expected to be on this stage where I am now already, which changed a lot of my approach to things now. But then, as you said now, I also, if I want to compete, I want to be at my best. I don't want to chase a payday just to go to a competition and become or get a fifth or a sixth place just to have some payment or
Sure.
just to be a number in a competition. If I compete, I want to be on at least on my best and be comparable to the best of the world. So yeah, so thank you for understanding. And then hopefully for many years to come, I can be at strongest man on earth and be at my best.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, it sounds like you've got some big goals, man. Big goals, and things you want to achieve, which I think a lot of people are going to find very exciting. You know, with you coming into the sport and shaking things up, and you know what you're going to be able to achieve in the coming years is going to be it'll be awesome, man. I love it.
Thanks, Brian. I really appreciate it.
You got it, man. I appreciate you taking the time, and you know, guys in the comments, give Rayno some love. Let him know what you think, how excited you were, or you know, your thoughts on him and what he's got going on. But I think a lot of people will be excited to, you know, obviously hear from you and in your own words what's going on, and we're all of us. I can speak for myself, and you know, everybody here. We're really excited to see you in the future, without a doubt, man. And wish you nothing but the best with all the training and prep and life and everything you got going on.
Thanks, Brian. I really, really appreciate it.